The Europa League Round of 16 kicks off Thursday, and today we're previewing 3 key matchups. First up is Manchester United versus Betis, with the Red Devils desperate to bounce back from their heaviest defeat in Premier League history. United's 7-0 loss to Liverpool ended an 11-game unbeaten run. And in a first-ever meeting between Betis and Man U, Ten Hag's side will try to get back to their winning ways that saw them beat Barcelona and lift the Carabao Cup last month. Ex-Man City boss Manuel Pellegrini will get quite the welcome at Old Trafford, and Betis arrive in this matchup after holding European champions Real Madrid to a goalless draw on the weekend. The Spanish side also topped their qualifying group, dropping only 2 points across 6 Europa League fixtures, so United may have to dig deep to record a 20th consecutive unbeaten performance at home. As Arsenal prepare to take on Sporting Lisbon, the grueling Thursday night schedule of the Europa League could look like an unnecessary distraction for Mikel Arteta. So with the Gunners closing in on a first Premier League title in 20 years, expect a much-changed lineup to the one that produced a stunning 3-2 comeback against Bournemouth on the weekend. Sporting arrive in the competition after being eliminated from a Champions League group that contained Arsenal City rivals Tottenham. And despite finishing third overall, Ruben Amorim's men took 4 points from Conte's side, a feat they'll hope to repeat against Arteta's rotated lineup. And finally, Serie A giants Roma will go head-to-head with Real Sociedad as Jose Mourinho seeks an upgrade on the Europa Conference League trophy he claimed last season. The Italian side arrive on the back of an impressive 1-0 win against Juventus on the weekend and currently sit fourth in the Serie A table. Real Sociedad were on fire in the qualifying rounds, topping Group E and winning all 3 away fixtures without conceding a single goal. But Roma have suffered defeat in only 2 of their last 33 home matches in Europe competition, although both of those were at the hands of Spanish opposition. With the Champions League Round of 16 second leg kicking off this week, you know what that means. It's the Europa League as well. First leg matches of the Round of 16 coming our way on Thursday. I'm joined with James Sharman, Michael Singh, Sarah Pararia here. And gentlemen, I know you don't love to talk about Europa League as much as we do the Champions League, but I think these 3 matches that we're going to cover are very
interesting.
interesting.
Into that group of Europa League haters.
Right before airing, James is saying, "Oh my goodness, Roma and Real Sociedad."
Can I just say I've never seen someone as excited to hype up Europa League games though. That intro, you brought the energy for that one, Sarah.
I'm actually a believer now because of you, Sarah.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go, Europa League.
I picked 3 matches that I think are going to be really good, and we're going to start off with I think the biggest match in this round of 16, which is Betis Manchester United. 2 really big teams in 2 of the top leagues in Europe, but also very interesting storyline because obviously we know what happened to Manchester United over the past weekend. James, don't we remember?
Well, nothing 7-0 loss. So, on Sunday, United lost 7-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. We just thrown the top 4 battle, into chaos.
There was a big F1 race on Sunday, I think. I remember that was...
Okay.
That was, I think, the most prominent storyline from Sunday. Yeah.
Go Max Verstappen.
No, never. All right, well, let's jump into Betis and Manchester United. James, it's going to be at Old Trafford. We know United at Old Trafford are lethal. And before that Liverpool match, United were on a run. They hadn't lost a game this year. They're looking really good. And even with that 7-0 loss, I still think that they will bounce back. But how important is it that they make some sort of noise on Thursday's game?
Well, I'll tell you this. Betis watched that game on Sunday and they were like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like, really? Because United have shown throughout this season they are resilient, right? They do bounce back. Don't have too many bad games back-to-back. They've got to really appease their fans. They've got to appease their manager, Erik Ten Hag. They're going to be going all out in this one, and there's going to be 70,000 fans at Old Trafford as well, just demanding a performance. And we know it's in there. Now, Casemiro was a doubt. You were saying, Mike, Erik Ten Hag has kind of eased those fears.
Yeah.
He's key. He had his worst game of the season against Liverpool, and maybe it was injury-related. If he is healthy, that's obviously a huge component. But, yeah, I think United are going to be very good in this game.
Mm-hmm. James, you mentioned the fans, and that's one of the things I'm so interested about. What kind of response did the fans give the players after that 7-0 drubbing? Mm-hmm. Because fans have every reason to be upset with this United team. They've kind of rocked back and forth over the course of the season, getting behind the players. Obviously, United always has really great support for their players, but with everything that's happened over the past 5 years, fans have started to turn on the club, and then Erik ten Hag has slowly brought them back.
Are they still fragile, is what you're saying?
They're still fragile, right? So are they going to get behind their players and give them that motivation, that response that maybe the players need, the support, the backing from their fans? Or will there be, a lot of tension there?
Yeah, because of who they lost to, not so much the scoreline even, right?
Exactly.
But they won a cup 2 weeks ago, right?
And if they're still looking to win a couple other trophies, this is one of the major ones. So I think United
We'll find out, Sarah, won't we, how strong this fan base really is, because they do get criticised as being, quite quiet in Old Trafford and so many fans being based outside Manchester. So are they proper fans or not? Well, they got to back the team in this one.
A lot of it comes down to the ownership too, right? The Glazers are potentially on their way out here, and that's sort of given the fans a bit of a boost and got them back to really supporting this club. But then you have Sunday, and I don't know. Like you said, it's still really fragile. If they do get behind the fans and the players show up and give that response, and hopefully United can just put that in the rear view and they move forward from here.
Let's also shed some light on Real Betis, because they are top team in Spain. They're in 5th right now, just behind Real Sociedad in 4th. But what's really interesting about this match as well is who their coach is, Mr. Manuel Pellegrini, who knows United very well from coaching City only, actually nearly 10 years ago now, 2013.
Yeah, different United team.
No, it is, but it means he knows how to play
at
Old Trafford, which I think is major. He also was the coach of Villarreal that drew United 4 times in UEFA competition. So he does know how to play against this English side. A concern for Betis, though, is that their captain, Sergio Canellis, might be ruled out. But I think the biggest thing is it's the coach here and what his experience and him knowing English football brings to this match.
Yeah, he's been asked this week all about the whole Man City issue with financial fair play. He goes, listen, geez, you can't strip us, Man City, of titles, because Man United and Liverpool were spending tons of money back then as well. So he's back into the maelstrom of UK-based media right now. He's done a nice job there, right? They're sitting in 5th place, I think, in La Liga right now.
2 points off from 4th.
They drew Real Madrid on Sunday, too.
Yeah,
that
0-0.
was also really important because they held them, played really pragmatic football, might have not been pretty, but holding Real Madrid... That's
perfect
important.
for a trip to Old Trafford, right?
Exactly.
Nabil Fekir is out for the season.
Yeah.
That's a big loss. He's been fantastic. It's a real shame. So they got some issues there. Brilliant in the group phase.
Yeah.
We know that. Pellegrini's proven as a very good manager. So I think they'll play United tough, but I think I'm still riding a narrow United win in this one.
Well, I think it's really important that United do win this leg, because when you think back to the Barca fixture the last time, they started the second leg at home, right? So it was okay. They went to Barcelona. They get the 2-2 draw, which is a great result in Barcelona. But then they come home, and that's when they have that effort in order to take them over the top. Now that they're starting at home, I know in the first leg there usually isn't as much pressure, but I actually think there might be a lot of pressure on United to get the result, because going to Betis, it's not going to be
Benito
easy.
Villamarín is not somewhere that you like to play, and Betis fans are lethal. They are some savage fans.
But with the leadership United have in Bruno Fernandes as captain.
Hey, back
your
by 10
favorite player.
Come on, get out of here.
All right, enough about Betis and Manchester United. Let's move on to Roma hosting Real Sociedad. Mourinho looking to jump back into the Europa League after winning the Conference League last year. And Roma coming off a massive win to the Old Lady United, with Dybala scoring the winner there. Really interesting match here as well, because both teams are out of their cups, both sitting 5th, and both are out of title contention, basically. So all the eggs are in the basket of the Europa League. Mikey, is this... I don't know, do we expect a lot in the first leg of this game, especially knowing Italian football and how defensive it is?
I know, especially Mourinho style of Italian football. Sociedad, they're in 4th, right? I think just one spot ahead.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
Sociedad's a really good team, and they've shown when they play big teams that they can be up for it. With Roma, I have question marks about this squad. They haven't been able to hit the form that I think a lot of people touted them to early on in the season. Look at a guy like Andrea Bellotti, who obviously a lot of people in Toronto here are very familiar with all the rumors floating around. But he's barely played minutes for them this year, which is an absolute surprise. I think Jose Mourinho, while he's brought in some big names there. They haven't lived up to expectations. And yeah, is this game going to be low scoring? I mean, anytime Jose Mourinho's on the pitch, I think that's definitely a possibility. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect.
It's funny, right? Because the fans loved Mourinho at Roma. He's given them an identity again, right? Which they've been lacking for a number of years. But he hasn't really brought huge success. The Conference League aside. I know you got the tattoo, so it means a lot to Jose Mourinho. One of the worst tattoos, by the way, you'll ever see. And if you're Jose Mourinho, at least do your research. You got the money, get a good tattoo artist, because that was not good. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, Roma have struggled at times this year. But Sociedad, as much as they're doing well domestically in the table, they have, I think, 1 win in 7 games entering this one. Not on great form right now. But for those who don't watch too much Spanish football or Sociedad, any excuse to see David Silva.
So he's actually back for this game, which I think is really important because he's a veteran, brings that experience, and he's still class. Like, he has his, his moments where if he comes on in the 60th, those last 30 are going to be fantastic from him. One really interesting thing, though, is that I read that Roma, out of their last 35 matches in UEFA competition, have only lost to Betis and Real Madrid. Okay. They don't have a good record against Spanish teams, and these two sides have actually never met. So it's always interesting to see.
Although Sociedad have issues, generally speaking, Italian teams, right? So it's really what we're saying is we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, no clue. It's very much like they're
I actually don't know what's going to happen.
Even contests, right? You're right. You said before how these might be better games than the Champions League games. I'm kind of with you. These are going to be tight affairs, even teams, and lots riding on them.
And both are really difficult grounds to play at. Roma, obviously hosting the first match, but then they have to go to Anoeta, which it's really tough to play there because of the altitude in the Basque Country. So exciting to see that. But finally, let's jump to Arsenal and Sporting. League leaders in the Premier League take on 4th place Sporting Lisbon. Now, another really interesting match here because Lisbon knows North London well from getting points off the Spurs in the Champions League group stage. They drew Spurs and they beat Spurs. So they have a good record against English football. Arsenal, obviously, I think the big question is here. How much are they putting into the Europa League? Because the title race is on in the Prem, and we know that means more to them, or we can assume.
Well, Mikel Arteta came out and said that he's not going to be sacrificing the Europa League in order to win the Premier League. Like, he wants to win both. And I think it's actually very important for that fan base that they do secure a trophy. Like, this could be, if you take a step back, this could be a remarkable season. It already is for Arsenal, but it could be even that much more remarkable if they get Europa League, if they get the Premier League. That's a double there, right? So they haven't won a trophy since 2020, and that was an FA Cup and also the Community Shield. Like, this is a franchise, a team that's trophy starved almost, right? They're not quite like Spurs, but they haven't been that decorated recently, and I think it is important for them to go out and let's say whatever happens in the Premier League, they finish second, right? Man City's still favorites right now. They can still bring home a Europa League, finish second. That's still a pretty successful season. Yeah,
absolutely. We are running out of time here, but James, really quickly, your predictions, 3 teams who are going to win.
Oh, the 3 teams. Okay, I'm going to go for Sociedad in the Roma match. I'll go Arsenal against Sporting, but Sporting, listen, Portuguese football is on a pretty good place right now, right? We see how great Benfica are in the Champions League, but I think Arsenal will be too much for them. And United against Betis,
Let's go.
It's going to be a bounce-back performance, right? And they have bounce-back ability, the United, so yeah, they'll take care of Betis.
Mikey, predictions quickly?
Yeah, United, I think a draw in the Roma game, and then I'll go Arsenal.
All right, very interesting. Europa League kicking off Thursday, round of 16.